Misleading headlines have made misinformation a defining problem of our era. The new book, Foolproof, explores why our brains are so vulnerable to misinformation, how it spreads, and what we can do to protect ourselves.
It was written by a professor of social psychology at Cambridge. Sander van der Linden joins us now. Thank you for being with us.
Good morning.
Morning. Pleasure to be on the show.
So, I mean, you can imagine that, in this age of social media, there's a lot more out there for our brain to absorb. So is that when things started getting bad, or is it predate social media?
Yeah, so in the book, I talk about, some examples that predate social media, like the what I call the info wars of Rome. But certainly social media has led to the unprecedented spread of misinformation, and also sometimes with deadly consequences. So, I talk about some examples of how rumors on WhatsApp spread and actually led to lynchings in India. So I do think that social media has allowed information in terms of the velocity and reach to become really unprecedented at scale. So that's definitely contributing to the problem.
What's strange is it's not just maybe people who are uneducated, even smart people are falling victim to this. Why is that? What is it about our brains that allows us to be fooled so easily?
Yeah, and so, exactly, the way that you put it, like nobody is immune to misinformation because of the way that the brain works. And one of these mechanisms is that the more often a lie is repeated, the more likely we are to think that it's true. And this is something we call the illusory truth effect. And this happens because the brain mistakes what we call fluency for truth. And so the more you repeat a claim, the more familiar it becomes, and the more fluid it is for the brain to process, which means the ease with which we process information. So stuff that you've heard before, the brain is literally faster at processing it than stuff that you haven't heard before. And that's why liars tend to repeat their lies, because they know that over time people will eventually come to accept it. And some research even shows that people find it less morally questionable to share fake news over time because they get used to it. And so these cognitive biases really make us all vulnerable to misinformation.
Since a lot more people are getting their news from non-traditional sources and a lot of the facts aren't vetted out, a lot of people don't know the difference between a regular news source. So how do you say there's misinformation fingerprints that you should look for? So how can you tell if something is true or not?
Yeah, absolutely. As you said, the barrier to entry has been lowered to such an extent that, anyone can now generate their own news. And so what I do in the book is I help people become aware of these fingerprints. And some include things like conspiracy theory. So I go and look at the fingerprints of what makes a conspiracy theory work. And so there's overriding suspicion, nefarious intent, reinterpreting random patterns. So there are all these clues that should help people identify when we're talking about false conspiracies, but also things like impersonation, propping up fake experts and impersonating politicians, and using credentials that aren't relevant to influence people's opinions. The use of negative emotions like fear mongering and creating outrage, which is a huge factor also on social media in getting people to click and engage with content. Polarizations, writing headlines that are meant to polarize people, regardless of the veracity of the claim. It's a technique that's used to influence us. And so there's many of these techniques, and I go through some of these in the book to help people identify them.
So how does the average person, if they see an expert, how do they know that? Do they just Google and track? Is that what you're telling people should do?
No, so we don't tell people to Google. I mean, it's not a bad thing to Google this, but the fake expert technique tends to use particular clues. So, for example, there was misinformation about the existence of climate change, and what they did is they had this sort of petition that had 30,000 signatures on it, but they copied the template from the National Academy of Sciences to make it look like it was a scientific sounding petition, when in fact it was just bogus. And so you can actually learn to sort of identify these manipulation tactics. And some of our interventions that we use to train people, for example, we impersonate the account of Donald Trump, and we change the Twitter handle. Most people actually don't notice this at the beginning of our intervention, but once they've been trained to spot the impersonation technique, they're not fooled by it again when we try again later. So that's kind of how we do it.
Huh. Well, you mentioned confirmation bias, and for those, I guess, who don't know, are you saying that people are more likely to be less critically thinking if it's something that makes them feel happy?
Absolutely, yeah. So we're all less likely to be critically evaluating information if it fits with what we already believe, if it makes us feel good, if we have trust in the source of where that information is coming from. So we use all of these heuristics, and that leads to this phenomenon that you refer to as confirmation bias, which is just a bias to confirm things that we want to be true about the world, and that's very difficult to counteract.
Well, for more, you can check out sandervanderlinden.com on Twitter. There's his handle, and TikTok. Thank you so much for
Thank
being
you.
with us.
Pleasure.